Welcome back, everybody, to the Low Elo Lika tournament. I put day 3 on the thumbnail, but it has been more than 3 fucking days. It has been 5. Um, and you get to see the protagonists fighting for their life, throwing their feces at one another, and basically trying, I'm sorry if you're eating, trying to fight to survive in the wild on the 64 squares. And today we have players such as the YouTuber himself, Outright Ignite, different Lika members fighting to get that golden roll, which I was very close to getting. But we don't care. So, we range from brilliant games to utter garbage. So yeah, this video take a while to be made, and tomorrow it will be the third place, who's gonna get third place, and of course, at Sunday, it's gonna be who gets first place. First time I cover a final that's not me participating in, but we don't care. So, and also the simple puzzle I put for you, I hope you can solve it, it's very easy. Join the Discord, link in the description, and yeah, enjoy looking at these games. Alright, let's take a collective sip, not seep is a different thing, of coffee, or tea, or whatever the hell you've got as a drink, because we're gonna have a fun time. So, Smith Mora in a Sicilian. Now, I have made a video on the Smith Mora. I have made a video on literally the entire Sicilian. It is out there. There's a playlist. It is 7 videos, all covering literally everything. There's literally everything, and some of the BS stuff that you get to play against. The rest of it is for you to find out on your own, because I will not cover every single tiny detail. So, we have the Smith Mora game accepted. Now, if you're a true Call Me Raven fan, you will know that the, except, for the engine suggesting the move, is the bootcamp for the stone defense. The move is E6, which prepares a sort of a con. Unfortunately, me, who is not me, some guy called me on the Discord, and the username is Kagamoses, whatever the hell it's called, plays knight c6. I don't hate the move, it's a simple move, but you're not in the bootcamp. Now white responds with a Smith Mora fashion with knight f3, and now I have d6. D6, okay, you're probably trying to play some sort of a dragon. Bishop c4. e5. Oh. Alright, so I've said a lot of times that +1 on like 6 moves on the Sicilian is not really to be trusted. This time it's kind of different. There is this threat here, and if let's say this threat gets covered, indeed it gets covered, if it would ever happen, e5 is just too committal in the Sicilian. Sometimes, if you're not careful, e5 can get you in a +3 position on 6 moves. For the opponent, not for you. If it was for you, then everyone would play it. But with bishop to e3 instead, that's a perfectly natural move, even though it completely sacks all the advantages, but we don't care. Knight to f6. Alright, so it's +2. Why? Because you cannot defend against this. The only way to defend against this is to sacrifice a pawn. After that, you will take with the knight. Taking the pawn is also good, because you do kick away this. I'd say it's the better move, but then, the knight attacks the bishop. There's complications. We have castles. So all the advantage is gone. The fork. Black has one chance to get out of this fork situation. They do get, to their credit. Knight goes to the center, leaving this pawn to hang. So, the reason why it's not a billion minus points is because you could make the argument this is a poison pawn. Because, for example, when you take this, it's just because white just gets a lot of fluid development. That's the reason why it's not that bad. Black does not take the free pawn. In fact, they get scared and they take the pony. The pony is taken back, and the bishop is on a very good outpost square, and black castles. So far, we've escaped out of the opening catastrophe, but it's fine. That's what low elo is about. Catastrophes and how to avoid them. b3. I have no clue what this move does. I will be very honest with you. A move like a3 here, I'll give a pass to prevent the knight. But b3 is insane. I don't know what it does. And in fact, immediately gets taken advantage of because that outpost square is very good. The bishop goes back, and a6. It's very equal, and in fact, preparing b5. So we have a3. It kind of makes me wonder why you didn't play a3 on like before you played b3, but fine. You're the boss. And I have bishop goes there, defense, and now b4. Okay, we have some sort of justification, but now it's just 0.6 before because you can kick away the knight, and it didn't get played, unfortunately. And after they go here, you take, and you can take this to get a free pawn, or you can take this to get a tempo, and then after that, you can just go here and have this beautiful outpost square. Both moves are elegant on their own, but instead we have this move, h3. Hangs a pawn. Not really, because takes here. That's why I didn't hang a pawn. This is indeed a clean pawn, and if you actually try to get this pawn, then the queen actually develops with tempo, and now black has a commanding advantage because of the fluid development, and also being up in material. Instead, we have this move and this move. Now it's back to pretty much equality. It's very surprising. Okay. Queen goes here. I don't know why not developing the queen here. That would have been a far more natural option. Maybe afraid of the pin, but you still get pinned, really. So, don't know what you're afraid of. And I accidentally flipped my phone. I apologize if something happened here. Queen goes here. Okay, so you're pinned. Now the bishop goes there for trades. We get a trade. Fine. h6, natural move. That goes back. And the rook takes over the open file. And we point a gun towards a wall. And we want to see what will happen to the wall. The chance of... And you're not really even shooting the gun. You're just massing the wall with your gun. You're just grabbing the gun from the barrel, which is very dangerous, and you're just smashing the wall with it. I don't understand what rook b1 does. I guess you're supporting the pawn, but nothing is attacking the pawn. That knight is pinned. If it moves, like, what? What are you afraid of? Some, like, I don't know, that is free queen. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe it has a point, but I digress. Okay, the queen goes here. I'm pinning. I know the Jensen hates this move. It's still pinned because of the rook on the corner. Alright, now you're double pinned, which is kind of a problem. Alright, now we double up here. I don't get why you had to leave that square. Because that knight did a good job at defending this this portion of the board. I don't know why you had to move it, but fine. Alright, immediately takes advantage of the outpost square, really. And now it's minus 1.5, because... better endgame for black. Why? Up a pawn. Really, that's the reason. Up a pawn. And it's like, I could say the color complex for black is more favorable. The structure for black is more favorable. Really, the activity for black is more favorable. Really, there's a lot of reasons. So have knight here, trying to trade off. The knight gives a check instead, and... now the king moves. It's -2. It's losing. It's dead lost because of up the pawn. And you're just going to slowly walk your kings to the center. White is so far from the center, and that's kind of bad in endgames. In fact, white's king is isolated. Now I have this knight move. Knight goes back. Okay. Now I hate it. Now a move like rook b2, very good move to try to defend all your pawns. And you could try to somehow try and get a draw. But now you do this, and now you're losing because this is a fork. Doesn't get spotted. Which, thankfully, because I'm rooting for the guy playing with white. He's my friend. Best move, you probably should give away the pawn. Because you try to defend this, then... and, you're just kind of uncomfortable here. All your pieces are stuck on, like, this two close files. We have this move indeed, and this is what black chose to do. Sacrificing the knight for the pawn, but forgetting that the rook defends it. But however, Black is still winning because of the passed pawn. And because there is this... And now you have to sack a piece back. And in fact, you sack the knight, which is the more correct option because the bishop can be a lot more useful. Now the king starts to go to the center. Rook trade. We avoid it at all costs. The pawn pushes itself. I'd rather not see the pawn on a light square because if your rooks get traded and your bishop is unable to defend the pawn on the light square, then the light square bishop might be able to take it. Just a little bit of negative information. Just sprinkled nuggets of information. Chicken nuggets even. Who knows? Rook c1. This is a very strong move. Did he get played? He got played. Okay, so the point of this move is like you're pinning the piece enough to be able to go behind the passed pawn and control its movement. Kind of. But at least you can control it because there's a bishop and a rook stuck on the attack of the pawn. Rook is attacked, rook moves, and now I have this move. Makes sense, you're trading further, but we have check again. Now takes. Bishop takes, and we take a free pawn. You know, I don't hate that move. Bishop goes all the way there, sniping across the board. Giving a check, because we can. And now we're just gonna get rook a5, most likely. No, in fact, don't get rook a5. In fact, we give the control of our passed pawn to our opponent. Very wise. Check, and we win the pawn. Oh! Simple move, but then you forget that, you know, this hangs. But you would actually be able to sort of win this. I don't know why I even thought this was a move. Or the other one. I'm gonna have to downgrade my elo now. I'm gonna have to go from 1779 to 1778 because of what move I played. Anyway, it's fine. We have this move instead, which lots of things are hanging at the same time. King attacks, so we're gonna get a draw. No, we're not getting a draw. In fact, we get a fork. So I was not crazy. Bishop takes b3 was actually working, so yes, I get to keep my elo. Alright, takes. It's still a draw, basically. It's... Oh, okay. Don't know why there. You don't want to lock yourself. Alright, king goes forward. I mean, I would say it's a draw. But judging the fact that black has a passed pawn that's connected, yeah. And it's low elo. So that's the advantage. Rook tries to take the pawn, which will fail. And okay, gives check. What the What did you see there? This is not a hard move to find. Just go back, slowly walk your king to the center of the board, like so. Let's say White plays a couple moves because they don't have much. They're trying to like control your passed pawn. Just go here or something, you know, or I don't know, go here. If they do this and en passant, you can do that and push your pawns. It's a draw here according to the engine. But when two low elo players are playing, this is definitely far from a draw. Something like this can happen. You never know. But we have king f5 blundering the passed pawn. Okay. Try to trade. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, why are you going backwards? You're not cut off. What are you doing? Oh. I'm drinking coffee, I can't talk. Oh my god, this just kills the king. This kills the black king because you just can't access one half of the board. This is the other more important half. Oh, en passant. Oh yes, en passant. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. And now you're winning because you're up tempo and you got opposition. Oh, yeah, opposition, take the pawn, opposition, lose the pawns, and you had to make 2 queens, and you win the game because the chess gods blessed you. And surprisingly, we have the thirdest game I've ever seen. We have a perk defense. Now, the perk defense is, in my eyes, trash because you surrender control of the entire center. We have the modern defense, the Galar system. I don't like taking away the F pawn advance like that because I like to go 4 pawns, attack 2 knights to bishop's queen down and castle and attack. E5. Okay, so we play the Philidor now. Alright, so we've set up in a bad way. The Philidor is solid, kinda. But the dark square bishop is the worst thing in existence. It's basically like a friend's, but without the counterattacking chances. Hope you understand. Bishop c4. Knight c6. Best way to play against the Philidor? c3 d4. Hit him with a nice little c3 d4. They try to do anything. Don't care. Advance the center. Get the 2 pawns. Clean them. Bishop to c4. Knight c6. d3. Okay, solidifying. c3 even here is even not that bad. But knight f6. Okay, now it's bad. Okay, so we have a fried liver. Kind of. You have to sack a pawn. Then if you do this, though, I think this is possible. Yeah, it is possible. If you take, then there's like here, and now it's basically fried liver. I know someone who really loves the Italian in the server. Bishop to e3. Very powerful square. It's not taken advantage of. The reason why this is so good is because you again target f7. f7 is very much a weakness on e4 positions, so you need to be on the lookout for them. But knight c3, I don't hate that move. Alright, now the bishop fianchettos. Queen goes here to try and get rid of the fianchetto bishop, even though it's kind of bad. We get rid of it, and we attack, trade, here, here, here. And a couple moves later, a bunch of moves, and this, and then the game ends here. Why did the game end here? Because white abandoned. That's why. So after this move, then I don't know. It's a continuation. If my Evo did not crash, as me this time, not the guy from the Discord server, I probably castle and keep myself safe, because if you take this rook, then they take like that. Takes. You lose a piece. So you need to be a little more solid and castle. And now you let them decide what to do, and if they defend, I guess normal game. And you can take the spawn. You can get skewered. There's no way to get skewered here. But yeah. But white abandoned, so there's only one more game, and then I am gonna have to upload this to YouTube. Alright, so officially it's like the next day, so it's been quite a while. These videos take a lot of effort and a lot of patience. So we have this. Oh, we're gonna have another symmetrical Gioco Piano. I mean, boring. I mean, not lame. It's kind of boring, symmetrical. Normally in those symmetrical structures, it's white who has the upper hand because you get to play first. Okay, h3, h6, d3, d6, castles, rook e1, rook e8. The copying goes for a while. I mean, black just keeps copying. Bishop e3 takes. Now, what I would like here is if white played f takes, because I know it looks weird. I know it looks like one of those weird moves I used to be playing. Even here, like even before rook e1, like a move like here, like a move like this, and takes. You can use the f pawn as a way to grab more central space. But that's a little advanced, really. Instead, I have bishop takes and rook takes, which kills the coordination a little bit. And here's the funny part. Black does the exact same thing. You don't have to kill your coordination, but fine. You're free to do anything you want. We have d4, the central pawn break on the center. Now there's complications. So, takes. Not something hard to calculate. c6. Perfect play will lead to a draw, but most likely white will just go here, black will go here, and trade queens. The reason why this is not bad for black is because open file for the rook on the A file. That's why it's not bad to have double pawn structures. But instead we have d4, d5. Little lesson. Don't copy your opponents so much. You can copy them for like a move or two, like, I don't know, e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, like the Petrov. You can copy them for that. Or d4, d5, bishop to f4, bishop to f5. You can do that fine. But past a certain point, I mean, guys, you're entering complications for no reason. With e takes, but instead of, entering the complications with this, which of course it's losing, because if rook takes and then you lose pieces, we have takes and knight takes. Knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and just, I mean, what even? I mean, just what even? You could have taken the rook so you don't have to worry about this thing here, but you're fine either way. And if a move like f6 ever happens, you always got the square, and now you're threatening a rook trade yourself. Yeah, but fine. Okay, king f8. You just converse the endgame. Okay, sacrifice, get the rookies, get the cookies. Here. And clearly, I would have won this if I was with the white. I would just go here. If they go down here, I mean, just take it. I mean, what? You're going to win this endgame on your sleep. And if they try to, like, start winning pawns, you grab first, and they can't grab any. So, a little negative information right there. But if this move, and now we're just going to play a little bit of a longer game. You got this check, which is not given. This check is good because here, and then you can start harassing the pawns. They're going to have to start going. You're going to have to just keep harassing the pawns. You can even harass them even longer. Just commit their pawn chain and create this weakness on c7 so you can hunt them at a later date. And you can even pin this, but it kills your coordination way too much. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it. But fine. I don't care. You went for this. b3 is trying to go to c4. b5 doesn't allow c4, but c4 happens anyway. Now, the reason why I don't like this move is because, well, you can defend this pawn structure, but it's kind of split. Don't give yourself split pawns for no reason. But black just justifies c4. And here, and goes back. What I would like to do is just target the pawn, or go back with this rook. You're not afraid of this check, just go up one square, and use the other rook as a means of taking the pawns. So one rook is going to do the defense, and the other one's going to do the offense. And you're going to slowly bring your king, your pawns, win the endgame, promote. But with this, here, check, another check, and here, threatens mate, escapes mate, rook goes all the way back. I don't know why not here, but fine. You're the boss. Goes here, and attacks the pawn, check here, goes here, threatens the pawn, check here, this. You can even take the pawn if you want, but fine, you take the pawn. Now you take the other pawn. It's probably mate. Like, somewhere around here, there's gotta be mate. You don't have to play f3, but fine. Here, check here. Okay, you could have just went to f2. I mean, there's no difference between the two moves. Look, 11.3 is king f2, 11.8 is king h2. There's no difference. That's why you played f3 in the first place. But fine. You're the boss, really. Now the rook targets the pawn. What I would do here is just certify that I can win this pawn. You just win the pawn. You just promote 2 best pawns, 2-0. You win. There's a 3-on-1 on the king side as well. You're fine. You'll win. But now I have this move. Chance to play en passant. Guess what? The opponent forgot it existed. Again, you can sit here and defend, or you can just give checks. And here. And then mate in 5. Check. 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 Here. And now you turn a bunch of mates. Check here. Here. And either the rook or the pawn. I would have preferred to see the pawn. Checkmate. Like that. But instead, we do this, and this. And even there was the pawn checkmate. You see how the engine is recommending the pawn checkmate instead of the rook checkmate? Yeah. Because the engine wants a little bit of sauce. But yeah, that is the one of the other semifinal games. There's only one more, which is gonna take like an approximate 2 hours. So yeah, this game is the one before the semifinals, and before it is the next day. I think I heard the door just closing. Anyway, Sicilian, Alpen. By the way, Nitrix Warlord, GTA YouTuber. Anyway, before I start by saying how disgusting the Alpen is, let me tell you why I think the Alpen is disgusting. It's dry, lame, ass, boring. I mean, if you're like a 300, I don't give a shit. But like, why are you playing the Alpen? Play something more fun. Play this, or play this, or play this, or play this, and then the Grand Prix. Just play something that has fun. This is not fun. Oh god, D6. All right, so already wrong. Already kind of wrong here. The best way to meet the Alpen, if you ever have to face it, I have 3 ways. One of them is E6. This the idea to play something that resembles a friend's. Like if they push this is a friend's variation. If they take this, then I mean, kind of a friend's defense structure. It is really leaning towards like a friend's. It's really leaning towards a friend's. And if they develop their knight like that, well, they hang upon. If they push, well, I told you, it is the friend's defense. To do that, then you still take the pawn. Yeah, it resembles the friend's defense. But d6, yeah, not really. If you don't like e6, there's e5 as well, with the idea to hope for this, which is basically a Smith-Morra gambit accepted, or decline, basically. But if you take this way, it's not a Smith-Morra decline, which kind of, don't know why. Or the other way that I've recommended is also to just go d5. I don't really go for d5 any longer, but it's the main line I open. So d6. Now I have d4, takes, and knight to f6. +1. Why? Because white just gets the fluid development, right? Like that. Okay, e5. Takes. All right. Takes even. Okay. Knight develops. There's an attack on that. Ignore the YouTube notifications. Can't do much about it. Best way to defend against this is to just go here. It's exactly what happens. Takes, here, castles, and the bishop goes out to an active square. Can't hate on that move. Now give a check, and black moves to the e file. You could make the argument that king c7 is better, but really, I'd like to get my king here, because most likely the play will be around here, and because you have double pawns, you're going to need to support them a little bit more. So that's why the king side is a lot better than the... I mean, not a lot better, slightly, very slightly better than the queen side, even though you can make the argument that the queen side has a lot more play. But I have king e7, a3 to go b4, which is exactly what happens. By the way, rook g8, I mean, my god. And Naroditsky streaming. G8 with the rook is insane. But fine. Okay, b4, bishop goes here, Finchetto, or Fianchetto. Why not move the other rook? I mean, yes, it's the top engine move, but like, move the other rook, man. Give the other rook a turn. Fine, don't give the other rook a turn. Alright, now you pin, and you trade your bishop for the knight. Wouldn't recommend it, but fine. It was kind of your better bishop in technicality. Defends the pawn and attacks this pawn. Defends the pawn. Now it's minus 1.9. Why is this minus 1.9? Because of a6. And then once you go here, which is exactly what happens in the game, there's rook c8, then here, and you win a pawn. Terrific. Attacks here. King e6. Don't hate it. Although I would make the argument that king f6 is the slightly better move, because I don't know. I would make the argument. I just like king f6 more. But fine, king e6 is not different. You do the exact same thing. Actually, no. King e6 might be a little more loose because of this, but then you got moves like that. Apparently, you just sack the pawn for some reason. Okay. Fine. So now the rook goes here, king goes up, check here, king moves up, and it's -2. Why is this -2? Because there's a tactic. Knight takes. Sacrifices the knight to get the bishop back and get extra interest. You could call this a brilliant move, but you know what? I'm gonna call it a brilliant move. In fact, the guy playing with black actually got a brilliant move for knight takes the pawn. So, yeah, good for him. First brilliant move on the Liga. Probably not. I'm probably just capping. We have the rook just sliding down here. And we just push the pawns. And we just defend. Goes back. Pushing. Here. Check. Here. And it's just a matter of conversion, really. And just push the pawn. Takes. Now it's just white getting obliterated. In fact, another guy who's playing with the white pieces. Whatever. I'm rooting for the guy who's playing with black, though. There's like 3 people that I'm rooting in this tournament. All of them are in the top 4, which is nice. Here, and just pushing the pawns, threatening to promote, takes the rook, goes here, promotes another cookie, and proceeds to laddermate his opponent. This is what happens when you play the Alapin, folks. You're gonna get badly raised from Earth, because this is what happened here. And the last game, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, the YouTuber Cole himself versus one of my other top seeds. Cole is with white, and my other top seed. By the way, Cole is also one of my top seeds. I did want him to root to. I did root for him like the first 2 rounds, first 3 even. But now it's very hard to decide which guy to root for, because 5 of my out of the 5 seeds that I rooted for, 3 of them made it to the finals, and I don't know with who do I root, really. That's insane. So, as you can clearly tell from above, it's 11 p.m., and I've been recording this for a while, and I even have myself some toast. This is the first time I actually bring edible food on recording, so cheers to me. This game, oh boy, 21 almost long. Let's begin. Sicilian, open. So, Cole is playing an open Sicilian. Yes, he's playing an open Sicilian. In this position, even though I love the Sicilian, I love it. It's one of my favorite openings, if not my favorite opening, slightly above the Grunfeld and Trompowsky. Black has a lot of choices here. If you're going for an open, you need to prepare for a couple of choices. Knight c6, the best thing that I like to do is cut a lot of theory with the Rossolimo when I play with white the open. I actually have an active repertoire on the open Sicilian currently. When I play e6, then you have to, well, pretty much even d6, or even this, anything pretty much, or even this, the O'Kelly, or even this, the Bucker. Pretty much white likes to go after anything, in this case d6. White likes to go d4. This is the open Sicilian, takes. Alright. Knight f6 and f3, standard, but what I wanted to see here was a Najdorf. Unfortunately, Chris let me down, and I did not get to see a Najdorf in the low elo Liga Chess Championship, where the majority of people, or 800s, have no clue what the Najdorf even is. They think it is edible food served by 5-star restaurants for $500. No, the Najdorf is this right here. There's 15 lines. One of them is this, the other one is this, this, and this. One of them is this, then there's this, then there's this, then there's this. And then there is also f3, there's even f4. There's even this queen move, this tricky move. There's even 15 lines, basically. 15 lines. There's a lot of lines. And the setup that black likes to go for is either e4 or e6 or e5. E5 can lead to not in this case. E5 is very bad. Let's say in the English attack, e5 here, here. Well, not right away here. Actually, here, here. Castles, castles. Knight goes here. Rook goes here. Takes here, and this is the structure, I think. And rook c8, rook c1. This is a possible outcome in the Najdorf, but this is not a Najdorf video. If there's a problem, make one. We have a dragon instead. Okay, dragon. I don't hate it. So what is liked by... This is the second most liked opening by beginners. Pioneered by Gotham. So yeah. Let's see if Chris can play it right. So, if I gave you a guess of what white played, you would never be able to guess it. Okay? There is a bunch of moves here. There's f4, which is a very solid move. The 11th variation, which is basically Grand Prix in an open attack. Or even, not even a Grand Prix, pretty much. It's, well, you could tell it's a Grand Prix or not. It has a similar structure. Kinda, not really, not fully similar. But it pretty much just wants to go, take space in the center. And develop naturally. There's like moves like this you can play. This and castle. Short side is the classical dragon. There is this. There's also this pin variation. Cole in this position plays that. Surprisingly, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. I've never played the dragon. I've played the accelerated dragon a couple times to try out and see what Sicilians are like. I've never seen knight to d5. This is a novelty to my eyes. I don't know if this is a solid choice for white, but I don't know. So, let's continue. What did Black Black took the thing, of course, fine. Don't blame him. Now, white has this ugly pawn on d5. You can just pick it up like this and take it. I don't think that happened. Oh, it happened. Never mind. And this happened instead. So I had c3 here. I'd like to see this move instead. It's It's more flexible because you actually get to develop a piece and not commit your pawn structure yet because you haven't decided which way to castle. But yeah, we have this. The bishop goes out here. Fianchetto. Check. All right. Blocks the bishop. Take. Pawn is hanging, by the way. Just saying. Castles. Queen attacks the knight. And it's minus 1.5. Why is it minus 1.5? Because of f5. The move that I myself recommended. Why is f5 good? In the voice call, I pretty much stated that a possible kingside attack is very much possible here. Because this, and then you can even, you bring your knight like that, take away squares like this square here and here. And apparently the best move is this, to kick out the queen, and even then the queen moves aside, and after a move like this, or a very natural move like rook e1, for example, you just bring all your pieces to the kingside and start going for an attack. Except that did not happen. We had f5, but we had queen c5. Now it's minus 2. For the same exact reason and the same exact concept. Queen f7 is played. Okay. Again, f4 here, very good move. Or even this, that's also a fine move. Just open up lines. Yeah, instead we have this. And this is what we have. This is the move that we get. Okay. Wasted 2 tempi on f6, apparently. White avoids a queen trade, because Cole just doesn't like trading queens when he's attacking. Alright, so, but there is a fork here. f4 is indeed spotted. So, what's the top engine move? Counterattacking the d7 knight. And what is the top engine move? A lot of us were considering a move like bringing the knight, which happened, 95 happened, but we're going to talk about that later. Some of us were even considering this move to cover the knight from hopping to the square and causing trouble, because this square on e6 is very, very loose. And I felt like Cole would be able to exploit that despite being in rated 800. But there is probably some basic positional understanding of the position. So, the best move, though, by far, is to take the bishop no matter what. Despite we hinted the fact that taking this loses your pawn, you go here, you take with check, and then they go here, and you take the rook, and then you just take the knight, and then they take, and then you can take the pawn. No, you can't take the pawn. You drop the advantage. Instead, you have to play this. Wow, that's insane. If they move aside, you still can't take the pawn because of this pawn, which I think blunders a draw pretty much. You have to go here, and then they have to go here. You still can't take this pawn because now this time black, not black, white is winning and black is lost. Instead, we have this, and then you have to go here, trade the rocks, then have to go here, and I think now you can start taking the pawns, yeah. Check, here, there's no more perpetuals, because you can just block with your rook, and here, and yeah, this is pretty much a winning endgame for black. But instead of all that, we have knight to e5. Maintaining the threat on the bishop, but forgetting about knight to e6. It is a draw. Queen f5. If they take the rook, you take the queen, and then you fuck up their pawn structure. Take this. They have to get out with the knight or get out this way, but then you just fork the rooks. So yes, they're doomed. If you take this, then you take this. Simple. But instead of either of the moves, we have this, for God's sake. And now the pawn is hanging and is gonna fall. And now white is on the attack. Cole is attacking Chris violently. Okay. The only move here that probably tries to hang on is queen to f5, which it didn't get spotted. The reason why queen f5 is good is because after takes, despite destroying your structure severely and having a lot of holes in the position, you will not be getting checkmated. You know? Material is important, but the most important thing is king safety. Because the king is deciding life and death, really. But we have this. Now, to be fair, the move makes a little bit of sense. But it fails on one and only front, which is knight to g5 check. Your only move is to go to e8. If you go to g8, not that. That is a misclick. If you go to g8, check, here, takes, and now you have a choice between which piece you want to take. If you take the knight, then it's, I think it's checkmate. It's gotta be checkmate, or very much losing. Here, you sacrifice the bishop, because if you take, then there's mate in one. Vile. And if you take the bishop, then they take the pawn, and then they throw in a mate in one, which you probably have to sack your queen, and if you do this, thinking you've covered, you get royal forked. So, yeah. But instead of that, and this accepting that you're going to lose a bunch of pawns, or material even, Chris went here. And blunders a royal fork, and blunders spot number 2.